Hi! Within this section, we're going to discuss how we can create a backdoor so that we can get an access to the target device, that is a phone or a tablet, so that we can discover their files, discover their folders, get full access of the target device, like opening their webcam or camera and accessing their private information. And this is very achievable using Kali Linux, and we're going to see how we can do it with details. However, there is also another issue that we might want to consider before we start. Once we create a backdoor, once we create a malicious file that lets us access to the target computer or device or tablet or phone, it's also wise to think how we can deliver that malicious file to the target person that is using this phone or device. This is very easy to do in devices like computers, laptops, because you can just email them and someone can download the exe file and double click on them and it will work. But it's not the case for phones, right? So if you're using iOS, for example, then I believe you won't remember any time that you downloaded something from the internet and just double clicked on it and played it. Why? Because we use App Store to install applications on iOS devices like iPhone or iPad, right? So there is an official App Store and we download the applications from here. So suppose that we manage to create a backdoor, a Trojan or a malicious file for iOS. So how are we going to deliver this? So maybe you are curious about this stuff and you found out about a way to install these files to your iPhone. But most of the users, like 99% of the users, won't even know that, and even if they knew, they would get suspicious and they won't install your file. So we can upload it to the App Store, right? So they can download it from the App Store. Yeah, it's not possible actually, because Apple checks every App Store application before they release it. So when you develop an application for Apple, you upload it to the App Store and you wait for something like 2 to 3 business days, because they review your application and they look if you have anything malicious in that application. That's not very possible, but even if you manage to hide it from the developers of Apple, even if it gets released on the App Store, they will take it down after a couple of days. So maybe you have heard it, some kind of Trojans or backdoor circulating in the Apple ecosystem in the past. So how did it happen? So first of all, the restrictions of App Store got stricter and stricter each day, every day, once they discovered that there are some certain malwares and there are some certain data leakages to the apps. But there are still some ways, theoretically, to overcome this problem. For example, there is something called Apple Developer Account, and you need to have that in order to upload your apps to the App Store. And you need to pay $100 every year in order to have an Apple Developer Account. But there is also another thing called Apple Business Developer Account, which is $300 per year. And once you get that, actually you're allowed to publish your applications without uploading them to the App Store. So that this is for business to business applications. So regular people do not see your application, but the people you want to distribute this app to just can download this application and run on their iPhones or iPads. So theoretically, it's possible to open a business developer account and distribute your app through this way, so that people can actually install this in their phones, in their iPads and stuff. But this is costly and it will be noticed in a couple of days and it will be taken down. So I believe in the past year a Russian hacker group managed to do this with exactly the business developer account, and they got noticed in a couple of days and they got taken down, but maybe they had reached their target, I don't know. So it's possible, but it's not applicable to the real world most of the time. So what I'm going to do instead of this, I'm going to focus on Android backdoors, because you can actually use Android backdoors in real life examples. Because even if we have Google Play like this, even if we have Google Play to download the applications as an official app store on Android devices, we also have other services, other ways of downloading applications and installing them on your Android phones as well. So even if we know about creating iOS backdoors, we won't even use them in real life. But if you know how to create backdoors for Android in a perfect way, then you will be able to practice it, of course, within legal boundaries in real life as well. So that is the reason why we're going to do this. So of course Google Play is a way of distributing your app as well, but it will get noticed and taken down eventually. So what we're going to focus on instead, creating our backdoors and distributing them via emails or WhatsApp or any other measures, because the users of Android can actually click on the APK, that is the final product of an Android development, and run it on their own iPhones, or not iPhones, Samsungs or any other Android phones or tablets. All they had to do is actually allow the unknown sources to be installed their phones, and once they click on this APK file, the phone will ask them if they want to install this or not, or if they want to allow this or not. If they allow it, it will be installed. And luckily, most of the Android users actually allow this because they want to download the other files, other sources, just not depend on only the Google Play. So this is an advantage for us. So if you're going to test this on your own Android phone or Android tablet, make sure you open these unknown sources as well from the settings, and I'm going to show you how to do that during the lectures as well, don't worry. Okay, and the reason that we're going to start with this is to practice the Kali Linux a little bit, learn about Android terms a little bit, so that we can move on to the real thing where we learn about programming and reverse engineering, the app manipulation and everything. So if you have experience on this APK files or kind of creating backdoors for Android before, just be patient with me. After the section we're gonna get so much real. So make sure you run your Kali Linux and meet me in the next lecture.